Nathan, I'm sure you must have plenty of stories to tell. Can you give me some examples of the sort of cases that present to you?
One case that comes easily to mind is a gentleman in his 50s whose business is suffering from the financial crisis. He presents with tiredness, depression. He can't cope and this has led to his broken marriage and his isolation from his children. And as a result, his work performance and his personal life has been going down. He's resorted to drink, and he's put on a lot of weight. And as a consequence, he's snoring heavily. So he presents, in fact, his naturopath referred him to me with a possible low testosterone level. But through taking his history, I realized his major issues were his sleep apnea, which was the consequence of his obesity. And because of that, he was nodding off, sleeping, not able to cope with his business. His isolation from his broken marriage had further to his depression. And because of his heavy drinking, he had a fatty liver, which caused him to have a raised iron, and that further aggravated his fatigue. So his problem was not his low testosterone. His problem was everything else. The business crisis, which led on to his broken marriage, isolation from his family, and his poor lifestyle. So I made him recognize that the core reason to fix was his lifestyle, because it's only by reducing his weight, reducing his alcohol intake, his obesity would improve, his sleep apnea would improve, he'd have more energy during the day to cope with his business and his failed marriage. So by managing this patient, I actually did all the tests to prove to him that he had positive sleep apnea, he had a raised high iron, he had abnormal liver function tests, and he could see from these results that he had to make this lifestyle change if he wanted to resurrect his business and he wanted to keep seeing his son. Because at the moment he was falling asleep on the road, which made him very dangerous to go and visit his son. So he could see that he had to make those lifestyle changes to improve his business performance and his own personal life. So that's just a simple example of a business owner who was presented as fatigue.
And have you been able to help him?
Oh yes, he's made a dramatic change, because I told him that if he wanted to drive and pick up his son, he had to have his sleep apnea fixed, because otherwise he'd lose his license. And that was the trigger for him to make that lifestyle change.